So this is another episode of Christopher Reads the Help Files. In this one, it's import survey data. And since there's really nothing value added in the descriptions for the topics, I'm just going to go ahead and go to the first topic. To work with the import survey data wizard. In the import survey data wizard, you have options to import fieldbook files, points from drawings, or survey land XML files. Importing data using this method creates an import event. Click on the Home tab, Create Ground Data Panel, Import Survey Data. So that's going to be this one. On the specified database page, select an existing database or click Create New Survey Database. On the specified data source page, select one of the following options: fieldbook file, land XML file, point file, or points from the drawing. I'm going to do fieldbook. On this, I guess you aren't supposed to select the file. That's kind of weird. It's kind of implied, I guess. It's kind of weird. So let's go look for one. Let's see if we can find one in the Civil 3D folder. Lots of languages, tutorials. There's a field book. Let's see. So it's missing step to select file. On the specified network page, so I guess I got to hit next. Specify a network or create network, so I'm just going to select the one there. Note, click none if you are importing project points that you do not want associated with a network. This option is only available when you import points from a point file. On the import options page, specify the import settings and click finish. An import event is created in the import events collection for the survey database. There it is. To import point files into the survey database. Wasn't that covered in the last one? Points file? I guess not. Use the import point file command to import points into the survey database and network as control points or non-control points. In the import settings, you have an option for line work processing. The selected point file format determines the column order, PNEZD, the delimiter, and coordinate zone of the file being imported. If you select the process line work option, the point file format must contain a raw description column. A point file format with the coordinate system zone that is different from the coordinate zone assigned to the survey database will require a transformation. Each time you import a point file, a point group is created on the Prospector tab in Toolspace. The file name for the file you import is the default point group name. Tip: you can also use Import Survey Data Wizard to import point files. So I guess that's a separate step. In Toolspace, on the Survey tab, right-click a named network. So we got to go to Import Point File. Browse to any file you want to import and click Open. Make any necessary changes to the import point file settings and click OK. So it sure would be nice if they automatically picked it based on the data. So it's a PENZD space delimited. So we'll process the line work. So we'll hit OK. So I'm going to resolve all. And now I should have, there's the points, updating the survey network. And zoomed out, of course. So here's test, here's my import of points. It's kind of weird that it's not also on the import events. I guess it's here too. Lots of different places to right click on it. So if we zoom to, it's kind of weird that it's thinking. Well, while it's thinking, I guess I'll go back and read and help the files. Why won't it bring it back? I want to read the help file. Of course, it's frozen and won't let me move it back. Horrible product. Let's see, how can I bring it back? Let's try Windows. Will Alt-Tab bring it back? Oh, why? Why? All I want to do is go to the help file. Can't change it. It's frozen. If I hover over it, I guess it's my fault for not having a little bit of the help file over here. Or reading in our browser. So there's all the points. It took it forever. So I guess that's a preview. What's this? Don't know why it's going all the way down there, but it did import them. Now let's see if we can go back to the help file. To import multiple point files into the survey database, using the import survey data wizard or the import point file command, you can import multiple ASCII point files and also import points using a point file format that contains user-defined properties. On the ribbon, click Home tab, Import Survey Data. So that was down here. In the Import Survey Data wizard, on the specified database page, select an existing database or click Create New Survey Database. Hey, now they're having us click Next. On the specified data source page, under Data Source Type, select Point File. Click plus and select the point data files you want to import. I guess I'll just grab those two. Oh, so you can only have one. Oh, well. I'm just going to delete the other one so it works. After you select a specified point file, the specified point file format list is filtered by the types that are potential matches for the file you selected. Note, to toggle off or on the file format filter, click the button. There's the filter. Based on specified point file format, the selected point file is parsed and a preview is displayed in the preview area. 6. Select the appropriate point file format. The display of preview area changes to reflect the currently selected point file format and the contents of the selected point file. Click Next. On the Specified Network page, specify a network or click Create New Network. Note, click None if you are importing project points that you do not want associated with a network. This option is only available when you either import points from a point file or select points from a drawing. Click Next. On the Import Options page, specify the import settings. Click Finish. An import event is created in the Import Events collection for the survey database. While that's working, I'll go to the next one. About importing point files that contain user-defined properties. Import point files when using point file formats that contain user-defined properties. When you import an ASCII point file, user-defined attributes described in the point file format are mapped to the user-defined properties in the survey database. If a matching property does not exist, then it is created. The user-defined attribute data for the points is stored as extended data using the same attribute data system as the LandXML extended properties. These properties are managed on the Survey tab in the Manage Extended Data collection in a survey database. In the Manage Extended Properties dialog box, on the Survey Points node, there's a new right-click menu option to insert into drawing. When you use this option, it forces the creation of the survey-defined extended properties in the current drawing. When new attributes are created in the survey database during an ASCII file import, the data type of the drawing side attribute is replicated in the survey database. For example, station would map to station. Also, when attributes are mapped back to the drawing, the data type is preserved. Limitations. Enumeration type attributes are not recognized by survey and are ignored during the attribute creation and data mapping process. Attributes that are displayed on the Survey tab in Toolspace are formatted using the units and the display format that is defined in the survey database and the user settings. The attribute units and display are not based on the current drawing settings. Attributes that are initially created in a drawing and then added to the survey database during import do not map back to the same drawing side attribute when you add survey data to the drawing. Survey creates a new survey-specific attribute definition in the drawing. For example, a string attribute address that is created in the drawing would round trip back to the drawing as point.address within the survey user-defined classification. User-defined property support is only available for ASCII point file import using external point files and the point file formats. User-defined properties are not supported when you import points directly from a drawing or from fieldbook files. Kind of sucks that it's not. To import point files that contain user-defined properties. In Toolspace, on the Survey tab, right-click the survey database, collection, and click New Survey Database. Enter a name and press OK. Right-click the new database, choose Manage Extended Properties. For define properties for the surveying points, expand the survey point node, right-click user-defined, and choose New. Survey point node, there we go. User-defined, and then choose New. And then you choose what property type. And then it looks like you can add some string values. And then hit OK. When you have completed creating the survey point user-defined attributes in the Manage Extended Properties dialog box, right-click Survey Points, insert into drawing. In the Toolspace on the Settings tab, expand the points collection and create a new point file format that uses the new attributes you created in step 3. So we go to points, and then point formats, and then we can right click and choose new. Point file format. And then one of these should allow me to select test. This did not work. I'm not saying point dot in the list. Or am I missing it? Or maybe I did something wrong. Survey points, insert into the drawing. And then you go to settings. And then it doesn't do anything. Import a point file using the import survey database. This doesn't work. Let's see. So this doesn't work. It does not import in the user-defined property classifications. So that kind of sucks. Doesn't work. Another feature that's not maintained. To import points from a drawing into the survey database, use this command to import points from a drawing into the survey database and network as control points or non-control points. Tip, you can also use the import survey data wizard to import points from a drawing. In Toolspace, on the Survey tab, right-click a named network. I don't have any networks, so I guess I'll have to create one. See if there's anything else. At the command line, click import points from drawing. The drawing must be saved before import. Do you want to continue? So we'll give it a name. So we'll go ahead and do all. And I guess there's no points in this drawing. Or there's no eligible points. Yeah, I mean, there's points in the drawing, but I guess since they're already part of a survey database, it doesn't import it in. Let's go. So at the command line, enter one of the following. All imports all points. Numbers, enter the point numbers you want to import. Group, select the point group you want to import. Selection, select points in the drawing. Make any necessary changes in the import points from drawing settings and click OK. So that was kind of a failure. About resolving duplicate point numbers. Resolve duplicate point numbers when you import an ASCII file by renaming or renumbering the points. When you import an ASCII point file and duplicate points are encountered, a dialog box is displayed with the options for renaming or renumbering the duplicate points. You can ignore the duplicate point numbers or choose to resolve an individual point conflict or all point conflicts. You can ignore the duplicate point numbers or choose to resolve an individual point conflict or all point conflicts. The point conflict resolution depends on the type of conflict. If only the number conflicts and there is a valid name, then only the name is assigned. If the name conflicts, the name has a sequence number added to the end, for example, EOP 112.1 or EOP 112.2. If the number conflicts and the name is blank, the number is used as the name and with a sequential number added to the end of the name. For example, if there's a 0.112 and no name assigned, 0.112 will be hidden and the point is assigned the name 112.1. If the name and number conflict, the number is ignored and a sequence is added to the existing name. If the name and number conflict, the number is ignored and a sequence is added to the existing name. For all resolutions, the original point name and original point number should be as they appear in the file. All offsets are applied before the detection of conflicts. In situations where offsets are used, it is possible to have the name like EOP 112.1.000.1 if EOP 112.1 is already in the database. All point conflicts are logged to the event viewer where a description of the changes is displayed. You can use links in the event viewer to zoom and edit to the point. So it's kind of weird that that renaming isn't a part of the title of this section, since most of it includes it. So if you don't know, the number is a unique number. If you want to use alphanumeric characters, I know some data collectors call it a number field if it has letters in it as well, but Civil 3D calls that a name value. So you'll still have a number, but you can ignore that. And then the name of the point is going to be the point number if your data collector calls it that. So name is the same thing as point number. So you end up with having two distinct values, the number and the name. And so this concludes Christopher reads the help files, the import save